Hello, kids. Have you ever made Christmas cookies with your parents before? You know, when you mix everything up in the bowl and then you put all the ingredients together and put it on the table and then you knead it out, you get those cookie cutters out and you make those special Christmas shapes. And then at the end, after they're all done baking, then you decorate those and you put the icing on there and you put different sprinkles and things like that. Well, today we want to make some cookies too, but we're not going to make those kind of cookies.
Hi, Mr. James.
Oh, hi, Jasmine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great today. We're making cookies.
Oh, I love cookies.
Yeah, you came in just in time.
Yay.
Yes.
What kind of cookie?
Well, we are going to make today candy cane cookies.
Oh, candy cane cookies.
And that means that our cookies will hopefully look like candy canes. And I've got a candy cane right here. So here's a candy cane.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah. And they are this really pretty white and red, ribbony look there. So our cookies today won't be candy, but they're going to hopefully look like the candy cane cookies.
Yay.
And maybe it's something that you could do with your parents someday around Christmas and make these. So let's see how that goes. Now I've got some things pre-measured already, Jasmine.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want to, make too big of a mess while we're trying to show the kids how to do this, right?
To make it a lot easier.
Yeah, make it a little bit easier, right? I'm going to measure some things though. All right, so first we're going to mix some things like butter and sugar, and I've got some flavor extracts like vanilla we're going to put in. So let's go ahead and take the sugar, and we're going to pour the sugar in. There we go.
Oh.
And then, you know what, this calls for a powdered sugar too.
Ooh, what's that?
Powdered sugar was just really fluffy. It's kind of like light snow feeling.
Ooh, snow.
Yep.
Yay.
That kind of reminds us of Christmas, right?
Yeah, it makes me think of Christmas.
And then I'm going to put our extract in, vanilla, and a little peppermint because, candy canes have a little peppermint, don't they?
Ooh, that sounds good.
So I'm going to dump that in. Good. And then this also needs 1 egg. So let's see if I can do this, all right? Crack it, and we're going to dump that in.
Ooh,
all
nice
right.
job, Mr. James.
All right, we'll put that over there. Where's my towel here? We get a little messy with eggs, don't we?
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna put that there. Okay, and now we'll also need the butter.
Ooh.
So this is important.
Is it soft or is it hard?
This is, it's a little bit of both. We didn't want it too hard because then it makes it hard to mix.
Oh yeah.
But
so
if it's
a little bit soft.
Yeah, if it's too soft, it's not good, very good.
Okay.
And the cookies don't shape up that well.
Oh.
All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing this here.
Ooh.
So we're gonna get this going here. And so I like to just kind of start off by mixing it with a little bit with a mixer, and then I'm gonna probably use my fork.
Okay.
Have you ever made cookies with your parents, Jasmine?
Oh yes, it's so fun.
We get a little faster here. Okay, there we go. Jasmine, what kind of cookies have you made in the past?
Sugar cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
Sugar, oh yes, those are good there.
They're good.
Okay, good. Well, let's see, I'm gonna have to make some of this stuff, so I'm gonna dip this in. And it calls for 2.5 cups of flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrape this off here.
Oh.
Kind of level it off. I'm gonna dump that in like that. Let's get another one here. All right, good. Let's level that off a little bit.
Okay.
All right, there's 2 and 2.5, so a little bit more like that. All right, now we're gonna dump that in. Oh, kind of got crazy there. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and dump some salt.
Okay.
There we go. And let's get it, we've got to call for just a little bit of this here, so not a lot here. I'm gonna dump that in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. All right. And then we just need to beat that up a little bit.
Okay.
So let's mix that in a little bit, and I'm gonna use my fork here. Like this. All right, good. I kind of get it going just a little bit. I'm gonna turn it around here. Okay. I think I better use my fork for the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to just use my fork here, and because good cookie dough needs a little bit of pressure, something that mixer can't really do very well. So I'm just going to push down like this. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now if I take that in there like this, I can mold that up like so, and that looks pretty good. So in this recipe, we're going to divide it in half, like so, and then I've got to put some food coloring in another one of these. So, all right, let's put that down for the moment, and we put it over here, and then I'll make another one. Okay, we're back, kids, and now oh, hi, Jasmine again.
Hi, Mr. James.
Oh, I'm doing great. So I got the first one rolled up, and I put that in the refrigerator. Now I've got the second part of our dough. And now since we're making candy canes, what I have to do is I have to put some red dye in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've got some
red and white.
That's right. So I've got some red gel dye to put in here, and so I'm going to mix that up. Let me take the lid off here, and I'm going to add a little bit of that to there. Pretty much, just however much red we want to put in there. So
okay.
I've tested this before. I'm going to put a little bit more in here.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, boy, that is red stuff.
Woo.
All right, and look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks weird there. See that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Well, now I'm going to mix it in. And boy, I'll tell you don't want to get that close. So as you can see, I put on some gloves already because otherwise I would end up with some really red hands.
Yeah, that's really bright.
So now I've just got to mix this in, and we just have to keep mixing until it's all finished here.
Yeah, that takes a little bit of time. Huh?
That's going to take a little bit of time, yeah. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna mix and mix and mix.
Oh, it looks better.
Yeah, you see the color coming through. It's really turning red here. Yeah, some of it's dropping down. So we got to keep mixing until it looks really nice and even.
Isn't that cool, kids?
Oh boy. Boy, I'm glad this isn't on my hands.
Oh, that was
my
your
goodness.
hands bright red.
Okay, so that looks pretty good. I can mix up just a tad bit, but not too bad. And I would put that down, and then I need to put that in the refrigerator for a few hours to let that dough cool so we can form our cookies. Oh. All right, and we'll come back and check in a few hours, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we'll see you then, Jasmine.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hi kids, we're going to read The Legend of the Candy Cane, The Candy Maker's Gift by David and Helen Heidel today. And Merry Christmas! Long ago on a cold wintry morning, a warm light glowed in the windows of a candy shop. The old candy maker shuffled to the front door and hung an open sign in the window. Turning to his pot-bellied stove, he knelt down to stir the coals and add logs. This was a long time ago. This wasn't just a little bit ago. It was many, many years ago. All the while he smiled. He was thinking about his 7-year-old granddaughter. What am I going to give Katie girl for Christmas, he wondered. I'd like to surprise her with a very special gift. Reaching under the counter, the candy maker pulled out an old trunk. That's like a suitcase, what they used to package their things in. He unpacked a hand-carved nativity set, and he carefully arranged the large figures on the ledge of the window. A nativity set is when you have the story of Jesus with the little barn and the stable and the wise men and the animals. Then he went right to work. He was refilling candy jars with jelly beans, butterscotch drops, mints, and candy sticks. He chuckled as he thought about the village children. He knew them all by name, and he knew all their favorite candies. I bet you guys have a favorite candy too. Looking over his list of Christmas orders, the old man marked an X beside the name of the families that had children in them. I'm going to add extra candy treats for those youngsters, he said. I wish I could see their faces when they see the little surprise. Humming a Christmas carol, he opened the cupboard and he took out his containers for the orders. Suddenly the doorbells jangled as a blast of wind and snow blew into his tiny candy shop. To the old man's delight, there was a group of children inside. They were like little birds, talking and laughing. The youngest boy pressed his worn-out mittens against the glass case, staring at all the candies inside. The candy maker knew times were hard for Joey's family because his father had just died. Everyone except Joey laid their coins on the counter and they selected their special treats. The old man chatted with the children while he packed candy into the bags and he tied them with a red ribbon so it was special for Christmas. I can't wait to decorate our house and our tree tonight, said Ben. I can't wait to get a new doll for Christmas, said Sarah. The other girls didn't say anything. The old man knew some families were going to have not many gifts for Christmas this year. Little Kim Lee spoke up and said the school party is Friday and we get to have cookies and play games together. The candy maker laughed with them and said that will be so much fun for all of you. Hearing the clock chiming, they said it's time for school. Quickly handing out their sacks of treats, the old man filled an extra bag and gave it to Joey, whose eyes lit up with joy. Thank you, Merry Christmas, called all the children as they scrambled out the door. Watching from the window, the old man glanced down at the manger. There's the nativity set with the little Jesus in the manger. I hope the children won't miss the best gift of Christmas, he thought as he walked to the back of his shop, where he knelt by a chair to pray. Dear Lord, you love these children more than I do, and I want to help them. I want to help them know you and receive your gift of Christmas. Can you show me what to do to bless them? Gripping the chair, the candy maker pulled himself up, and after he wiped the tears from his eyes, he measured some sugar, some corn syrup into an old iron kettle. Then he lit a fire in the kitchen stove. Patiently, he stirred and stirred the mixture, waiting for it to boil. When the syrup began to bubble up, there was a smile on his face. That's what I'll do. I'll make a brand new candy for Katie and for all the other children. A candy that tells us about Christmas. What flavor? What flavor should it be? Peppermint. Picking up a small brown bottle, he carefully poured 3 drops into the pot, and he took a deep breath. This minty aroma reminds me of the spices that the wise man brought to Jesus. I want this candy to be different, though. I should make it white because Jesus is pure and sinless, something we can't do. I'm going to make this candy really hard. It's not a chewy candy or a soft candy because Jesus is our solid rock. After pouring that thick golden syrup into a bowl to cool off, the candy maker looked around the shop, searching for ideas. What else can I do with this candy to make it look like Jesus? Greasing his hands with butter, he lifted up the big sticky glob from the bowl and he began to stretch it out. The more he pulled, the smoother and whiter the candy got. Dear Lord, show me what to do with this candy. Pausing to look at his nativity set, an idea flashed in his mind and he quickly rolled a clump of the mixture into the shape of a rope. After cutting off a little piece, he gently curved one end. Triumphantly, he held it up and smiled. Now, what will Katie say when she sees this? The jingling doorbells interrupted the candy maker's thoughts. Hi, Grandpa, I'm here, the rosy-cheeked girl said as she skipped across the room. Laying down his candy stick, the old man turned to hug her. Hello, Katie, he said. How's my favorite granddaughter? She laughed. Oh, Grandpa, you know I'm your only granddaughter. I know, he said, but you're still the favorite. Katie's eyes widened when she spotted the candy stick. What are you making, Grandpa? It's such a strange shape. The candy maker sat down to watch her. What do you think it is? He asked. He wrinkled his brows, waiting for her answer. She grinned while turning the stick sideways and all around. It's a cane. It's like the one that you have to use on your walks. The old man grinned. You're right, it looks like a cane. Katie pointed to the nativity set. Look, the shepherds have canes too. It's really called a staff, he said. Sometimes a shepherd will lay his staff gently on the sheep's back to show love, like a warm hug. The staff comforts the sheep and it guides them on the right path. Its hook helps to rescue the sheep when their coats get snagged in thorny bushes. Shepherds use their staff to pull sheep away from danger, like snakes or poisonous plants or a big drop-off of a cliff. Smiling in her ears, go ahead and taste the stick. While Katie licked on that sweet stick, he continued, a good shepherd always loves his sheep, and he'll do anything, even give his own life to save them. The staff is going to remind us that Jesus is our good shepherd. There's the big candy cane. The candy maker cut another piece and he carved the end. Turning the stick upside down, he asked Katie, "What do you see?" Her eyes lit up. "It's a J." "What made you think of making a candy with a J?" she asked. "Well, J's for Jesus." "Yes, Katie, Christmas is the time we celebrate the birthday of Jesus, and the J is a special Christmas gift just for you." "Thank you, Grandpa. It is really yummy and it smells good too. But it looks kind of plain. It needs some colors on it." You're right, because see the little candy cane is pure white. There's no color on it yet. He said, "You're right. I wanted the candy to be white because Jesus is holy and sinless. But let's try adding some color to it." "Use red," said Katie. "I like red for Christmas." After selecting a jar from the cupboard, he picked out a small paintbrush in his drawer. "What does red make you think of?" he asked Katie. Katie watched her grandpa. He dug his brush into the food coloring. "Red makes me think of hearts and love," she said. "Oh, you're helping me so much, dear girl," he said. "The Bible tells us God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son." Katie, may you never forget the very first Christmas gift. "Was baby Jesus the first gift?" she asked. Her grandfather nodded. "He was God's gift of love to the whole world. Red reminds us of God's love." He spoke softly as he painted the thick line on the stick. "Red is the color of blood. The big red stripe is a reminder of how Jesus shed his blood for you on the cross." See how he's painting? That pure white stick is having stripes, red stripes on it. "It makes me sad that Jesus had to die," said Katie. "Yes, it is. It's very sad. But Jesus showed how much he loves us by giving his life so that we could be forgiven. When you taste this sweet candy cane, think about his love. Remember, Jesus isn't dead. He's alive. And that's a great reason to celebrate this Christmas." Katie nodded. "Someday we'll be in heaven with Jesus and we'll get to celebrate together. And heaven is God's gift that lasts forever." His eyes glistened as he handed Katie his finished candy cane. "Watch how you hold it. It's still wet." The elderly shopkeeper leaned back in his chair. "What do you think of the candy, Katie girl?" "I like it, Grandpa. I want to give it to all my friends and I want to tell them about what it means." "Will you make some more candies like this?" "Yes," he promised. "We're going to work together. After I cut each stick, you can shape one end into a cane, and you can even help paint the stripes." "This is going to be so fun," she said, jumping up and down. Tears filled his eyes while he silently prayed. "Thank you, dear Lord, for hearing my prayers, and thank you for sending Katie to help me." The old man leaned forward and smiled at his granddaughter. "Katie, dear, you were part of God's answer to my prayers today. I wanted to give you a special gift for Christmas, but you gave me the most special gift. You helped me make a new candy that tells the real meaning of Christmas. A candy that reminds us of Jesus." Katie threw her arms around his neck. "Oh, Grandpa, I love you. I'm so glad I could help you with the candy. Let's thank God for helping us," he said. Together they knelt down in their little candy shop, and they thanked God. They prayed that their candy would help people know the true meaning of Christmas. Outside, the snow was falling quietly, blanketing the little store. But inside, the warmth of their wood stove and the sweet smell of the candy smelled wonderful. The candy maker and Katie knew that they would always remember this day, but they never dreamed that this sweet gift would become part of Christmas forever, all around the world. Today we call it the candy cane. And see, when you turn it upside down, this J for Jesus, and then this is the staff that they were talking about in the story that helps the sheep and helps remind us that Jesus is our great shepherd and that he died for us. The red and white reminds us of how much he loves us. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season, and when you see the candy cane on your Christmas tree or you enjoy eating one, you can think about the real meaning of Christmas is Jesus. Merry Christmas!
Okay, Jasmine.
Okay.
Now I took these out of the refrigerator here,
Oh,
and so I've got two colors here. I'm going to use this teaspoon as my measuring device. So there's a little bit there,
Okay.
and there's a little bit there. We'll break that off. And so I've got these two pieces here,
Oh, a white and a red.
a white and a red, yep,
Oh.
because candy canes are 2 different colors,
Do you
right?
just squish them together?
So I'm going to squish them together, a little bit on my hand, and then I'll put them on the table like that.
Okay.
And we're going to roll and roll out like this. Roll and roll and roll.
Ooh.
Now this reminds me of something I do with the kids that I work with
Oh.
at school. And usually we use like Play-Doh or some kind of, putty or Theraputty, that kind of thing. So I put those together, and there's the 2 together.
Ooh.
And I think I've tried this a little bit, and it works better if I just put it on the table and I move it around like this. And there we go. We're kind of sort of braiding it like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to put those on this sheet here, and I just heard the oven finish, so that'll be, it's great timing.
We can bake them.
We can bake these. All right, now I'm going to show I think we're going to show a little time-lapse video on how we can make a bunch of these quickly. Then,
Oh, fun.
yeah, and then when we return, we'll put them in the oven, and then when we return, we'll take them off, and we'll sprinkle some peppermint candy and sugar on them too when we finish, okay?
Yeah,
So,
I can't wait.
yeah, so let me go ahead and make up a bunch more. You can come
Okay.
back and maybe try one out then, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right. So now I'm in the kitchen. They just came out of the oven here. I'm going to get a little bit of extra sugar and peppermint. I'm just going to sprinkle them on the top, just like that. A little bit. The pan's going to get a little messy, and that's okay. All right, nice. And we'll let that cool a little bit before we take those off, and then we can put them back down on a nice little serving tray. Okay, kids, we're back. We've taken the cookies out of the oven, and oh, yeah, you know what? I'm missing Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine, where are you?
Hey. Hi, Mr. James.
Oh, hi again, Jasmine. You know what? We just finished baking the cookies, so you came back just in time.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Oh, look how good they're looking.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I just-
want to try some.
Oh, I think we can. Yeah, you know what? I've got a couple more I've got to take off
Okay.
here. And let's see, we're going to put them right down there. We're going to take them off the pan. And, oh, that looks really good. Let me hold that up
Yum.
for you to see. Look at that.
Oh,
and I bet our kids want to see that too. Look at that.
It
oh,
looks like
boy.
Christmas.
That does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at those really nice candy canes there. Look at that. And it has the red and white symbols that Miss Lori talked about earlier in our story, and how they represent a J for Jesus, and they represent a shepherd's staff
Yeah.
for Jesus, as he's called the shepherd, right?
That's right. He's our shepherd.
That was a really good story that Miss Lori had. And Jasmine, you know what? Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And I
This
hope
was
you.
fun.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Would you like to try one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
peppermint, yum.
oh, that is good. I'm gonna break one off too and try it just
Thank
to see.
you, Mr. James.
That was good, kids. And you know what? Even if you go home and when you're at home over Christmas and you make other cookies, that's great. Making cookies is always fun with your family, and I hope you have a good time making cookies as well. Thank you, and we'll see you later.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.